Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth Plus. 13 wins in a row and feeling good. Blank card, this is amazing. Great speed, well good speed. Great rate of fire, damage is above average. And blank card is our starting item. So we're one item richer than typical. As a result of Eden's Blessing, which we got with like a quintupled Yera rune on the last run. Let's try the pill now. I can see forever. I mean, this is every single stat is present and accounted for. How do you lose a run like this? Especially, you know, I didn't even mention that we have the ability to fly, which is normally would be like a 10 out of 10, but now we're like, it's a nice value add, I suppose. You lose a run like this by being overly aggressive on deals with the devil. That's 100%. We've done it many times before. Trying to do it with decreasing frequency. Yo, one of these days. Blank rune. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I don't know what you are, but I don't think maybe we haven't had you on this save file. I don't know. We've had you semi-recently, because I remember what you do. Oh, we changed it. Now you're, oh. Well. Circular slowdown creep. Not really what I'm interested in. We really want small poison creep or small urine creep. I can't remember. But blank rune is very interesting. What are you now? Small urine? Yes, okay. I want you to know I don't feel comfortable saying it any more than you feel comfortable hearing it. We can use blank rune. Right now, blank rune, it could be anything. And that makes it worse. Are you poison boy now? I just want to see. We got full health anyway. You're not poison boy. You're circular slowdown creep again. That makes it worse. And I mean that sincerely. Because without knowing what it is, we can't really plan accordingly. But what we will do, as I see it right now, probably use it in situations where either an Algiz, a Yera, or a Perthro would be most applicable, and then just hope for the best. Because, like, if it's Berkano, whatever. If it's Awaz, whatever. We can use it whenever we want. If it's Ansus, whatever. All we want for Ansus is to use it as many times as possible. Or as quickly as possible once we start a floor, I guess. So these Spirit Hearts are good. We'll probably try using it right away. I have a hypothesis about blank card. Degaz. Okay, Curse of the Blind purged immediately. I guess the Gaz we also... The Gaz and Ansus are ones where we just want to use it quickly to kind of get it sorted. It's fair. Rusted Key? Sure, why not? Sack Dagger? Honestly, probably like a pretty dominant part of our previous run. I don't really want to step on the buttons there if you'll forgive me. I don't know, Little Spewer is an interesting item. If an item's not going to be like demonstrably good, I at least appreciate that it's got a little weirdness associated with it. And dude, I think we are going to be at our boss fight like any second now. Okay, like any second now is what... Okay, that's fine. We don't want it because we have blank card. We could try to re-roll it. I think I will. You know, you gotta... I used to, in my naivete, feel bad about runs like this that just got like super dominant super early. I think we'll take... It's good enough to take. We'll take this. It's good enough to take. We'll try to re-roll this. Yo, it worked. Not that it helped us out, but still. And we'll just bounce. Now when I get a run like this, I'm just thrilled. You know, because at this point, I've reached like a new era of enlightenment in Isaac, I think. And it's the era of no longer feeling like I need to hamper myself to be interesting. I hope. I mean, it was always a little bit of narcissism seated in there, right? The idea that, like, well, if I just did things the way everybody else did them, the game would be too easy. So, you know, now I'm realizing it's like my Elizabethtown moment. That is Algiz, so the worst possible time to use that. You know, now we're we're realizing, you know, it ain't so easy. I mean, every single run has a very good chance to win, but to get a lot of them in a row is not the easiest thing in the world. Don't walk into this thing by accident. I'm also, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna tab out of Steam on this screen, because it has, like, you know how store pages, they can have, like, an animated GIF? I keep seeing the GIF, and my peripheral vision is like there's an enemy in the corner of your screen. I keep my work environment very static. My brain knows what to filter in, what to filter out. Like, for example, it filters out spikes so that when I step on them, I go, what did I get hit by, dude? There's nothing I could do. And it filters in, you know, references to the band Crazy Town. Pear throw. Like, music when I was a kid was so horny. I didn't realize it until now. Maybe that's a good thing, you know? But, you know, I mean, the song goes, come my lady, come my lady. He suggests that she gets him sprung with her tongue ring. Plus a reference to narcotics. I ain't gonna lie, your lovin' gets you high, or gets me high. To keep you by my side, there's nothing that I won't try. Did the crack in the wall get bigger there? Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about Crazy Town's Butterfly. You know, we've done essays and treatises about this song. No longer does it need to be referenced. In fact, I mean, there's a weird period in, like, movies. We'll try to re-roll it. Worth a shot. Where, like, all those songs are now, like, ironically being brought back. And I swear to you, I saw a movie. Like, first off, I saw Iron Man 3, you know, 5 years ago. Yeah, that seems about right. And they were playing Blue by Eiffel 65. Before it became, like, a culturally nascent moment to touch upon it. Hold on. And then I thought for sure there was one with Butterfly. Movie with Crazy Town's Butterfly. Yeah, Bufferfly. That's what it's called. Crazy Town by... Okay. Saving Silverman. Yeah, of course. But, like... No. Something more recent. The Wanted TV series. Silicon Valley. No, it turns out I might be losing my mind. There's no way it's Saving Silverman. Did I imagine Crazy Town's Butterfly featuring in a contemporary film? All I'm gonna say is that if it happens sometime in the next year, please send me to the same facility where they sent Eleven in Stranger Things. I need to be researched. Or researched, if if it's warranted. Anyway, I'm faced with the fact that, like, for the first time, we're actually slowing down just a little bit on this run, and that's okay. Statistically, could really use some DPS. I would also, and, you know, it's been fun. We have a good time here. We laugh. But I would be completely okay... Pair throw. Getting rid of Blank Rune in the hopes of getting, even if it ends up being one of the middle tier runes, at least we know what it does. You know, if it ends up being Onsus, at least we can use it once per floor. If it ends up being Bracano, at least we can use it every time it's available. Right now, you know, I don't even know, we're trying to get, like, the Gauze, I suppose, by using it as often as possible. And occasionally catching a per throw hit that maybe doesn't even work out that well for us to begin with. So like last run, I mean, Sack Dagger is like too good to not use. You know, too good to use syndrome? That doesn't apply in Isaac. I will take a little bit of damage, especially with a Thane backing me up. Bracano? Awaz? Well, we can use that for a quick getaway. Lucky me. Perfect. We should still have an easy win. And that's not all that matters. You know, I want to provide an entertaining run as well, but... You know, this is like, an actual pseudo-anxiety I have. Hold on, I need to find the right way to articulate it here. Which is hard to do while I'm also dropping bombs. No thank you. Temporarily, of course, you'll use this, and if we wanted to be a little, you know, not scummy, but a little try-hard. A little sweaty. I heard that recently about Smash Bros. You know, they're like, I don't want to play sweaty players online, and I was like, dude, that's the best analogy. Is everybody had a friend growing up where, you know, they would pass you their controller and it would just be covered in sweat. They're like, I don't want to play sweaty players online in Smash Bros. I'm in the exact same boat. I exclusively want to play Smash Bros. Against people who are playing for, like, the first time. It's a dream come true. Unfortunately, my George St. Pierre is a little too high for that. But anyway, one of my anxieties is like, okay, so, like, and this is real, but also hilarious, which is, I hope, my brand. But, you know, maybe 5 years ago on YouTube, I was playing upon the nostalgia for these songs from my own youth. You know, Crazy Town's Butterfly, Smash Mouth's All-Star, which is, if anything, is why I still get, or why in the modern era I get rattled when people still reference All-Star and go, somebody, and I'm like, dude, the joke is, at this point, like 5 years old. We owe it to society to move on, you know? But regardless, I'm like, dude, pretty soon, we're going to be in like an off year for that kind of nostalgia if we're not there already. Like, people are no longer, I think, nostalgic for the early 2000s. They will be again. I believe in that. You know, because nostalgia kind of comes in waves. But I think we're, you know, we're in like a little post-2000s nostalgia, at least for like the next few years. I might be wrong about that. I hope that I'm wrong about that, I guess, because all of my nostalgia is like late 90s and early 2000s. Basically between like 1997 and 2006. That decade right there. But I don't know, like fashion-wise, when I walk outside, I'm like, everybody looks like they did in 1992 right now. It's like, you know, brightly colored nylon windbreakers that I wore to school when I was 8 years old. And now I gotta admit, they look cool. But you know what's funny is that I have distinct memories of being like, you know, my mom will be like, hey, do you want this old Florida Marlins jacket that you used to wear in 5th grade? I was like, Mom, that's not cool anymore. I'm in 12th grade now. That stuff's out of fashion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna put a long sleeve shirt under my t-shirt so that my sleeves are a different color than the rest of my torso. I gotta tell you, you know, I wasn't the most fashionable kid in high school, but I got a prom date. Even with the long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt sort of situation going on. I'm not saying it was hip and in fashion. I'm just saying, hold on. Let's take both. Why not? And I don't think we're going to use any more charges here. I think we're just out, honestly. Making great time. No joke, when I was in 9th to 11th grade, every boy looked exactly the same. Long sleeve shirt, put a t-shirt on top of that, probably like a Billabong t-shirt or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yo, Alges, thank you. And we can like use one, I guess. AWAS? Burkano? Okay. No! How dare you ruin my fun by getting rid of Blank Rune like I alluded to a floor ago. Anyway, and I don't even need to tell you, same hairstyle 100%. You know, short hair, but flipped up in the front like a duck butt. I didn't make the trend, by the way. So, you know, I didn't realize this when I was growing up, and my mom would be like, hey, check out this photo of us from the 1980s. And everybody had, like, big hair and a whole can of hairspray in it. And I was like, what are you thinking? And she's like, it was the style. What she meant was, I'm just following orders, you know? MTV tells me that this is how, you know, ladies are supposed to look in the 1980s if they want to be fashionable. I'm just following the trend. It was the same for us. We didn't decide what looked cool, okay? And by the way, if you're in like high school right now, I know you're probably in the same boat I was in, where I was like, man, people that went to high school 15 years ago look so stupid. Sure glad we all grew out of that. No, you're gonna see the photo. And this is the cycle that I didn't necessarily believe in until I started living in it. But I'm telling you, long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt combo, it'll come back at some point. Because the 1990s style that was so dumb when I was in high school is now cool again, I think. Although I'm not sure. I saw, you know, once we got a little bit, I'm going to rely on maybe getting a better card at some point. I know we have little baggy. I'm going to try to fish us out of that instead of going Krampus's head. When I was in like 11th and 12th grade, there started to be two types of dudes. There was, you know, still preppy, like duck butt haircut dudes, and then there were like shaggy, indie mouse kind of pseudo scene kids. I got out of high school before the scene started to really pop off, but there was definitely like a couple of kids who, you know, they were like on the track team, and they went away for summer vacation. Then when they came back, they had, you know, the used band shirt and then like black eyeliner on, and we're like, oh my god, it's welcome to the new age. But I really like, as a man in high school, the fashion trends were very easy, you know. I feel bad, especially in hindsight, for, you know, the girls in high school, because you know what was the trend when we were in high school? It was the whale tail. Low-rise jeans, and then like a thong that pokes out of the top of the waistband. And everybody thought it was so cool. And now I saw there was an article that was like, low-rise jeans might be coming back in, you know, 2019. And I saw a bunch of women on Twitter that were like, please no. And I was like, I feel you. Those, when I was a kid, it didn't matter. You know, because I didn't think about other people. I had very little empathy unless it was like presented in the form of a Disney movie, where like an animal that's also a child loses its parents in an earthquake or something like that. But then, you know, your teacher's like, what do you think of like the homeless population? And you're like, it might be controversial, but have they ever considered just getting a really good job? I mean, my father told me that. You get the idea. Yeah, we'll crack into it. Absolutely. Sack Dagger's just crushing it right now, dude. But, you know, I had no sympathy for the fact that, you know, low-rise jeans were uncomfortable to wear. All I knew was that Billabong long-sleeve shirt under Billabong short-sleeve shirt, that's the way to go. Then you take a little bit of hair wax, and you, even as a, I mean, I didn't recognize it in high school because I never even thought about it. I didn't think that I had thinning hair in high school. I was just like, I have thin hair. And I think that's true to begin with, but I must have been like also balding in high school to some extent. Nobody ever brought it up, so I consider myself lucky in that one. But, you know, going bald in university, you know, I feel for you if you're in that same boat. I'm here to tell you, like, you know, just shave it off. It'll all be okay. It's kind of like the picky eaters thing. Like, I'm here to tell you, everybody thinks they have a weird head. I couldn't possibly shave my head. I have a weird head. There's like a bump in it. Yo, everybody tells me that my head looks awesome. They're like, you got a good head shape for baldness. I got like a ridge in the center of my head. It's like a peaked roof. You know, here's the thing. You notice it. Other people don't notice it that much. I don't think we care about any of these. I've been way more conservative about deals with the devil, and I gotta say, it's been working out. So if you're dealing with that in college, you know, or you're under the age of like 25, I feel bad for you. Don't take this the wrong way. If you're going bald and you're in your 30s, I have no sympathy for you whatsoever. It's tone deaf. Sometimes people, without a hint of irony, they'll be like, man, I'm 29 and my hair is already receding. I'm like, man, you're 10 years older than I was when I decided to shave it off forever. How was your last decade with hair, you know? But if you're in high school, that's real rough. And it happens from time to time. You know, Mother Nature didn't say, hey, you can't go bald until you're out of high school. So if you're going through that at that age, like, I feel for you. Now, I'm not saying hairy men have it harder than anybody else on planet Earth. That's a ridiculous statement. What I will say is that, you know, I'm here to be the patron saint of the hirsute male. The great irony of life is that if you go bald, and the earlier you go bald, the more likely you are to have a thick coat of body hair. It's like a monkey's paw situation. It's like, I want a thick, full coat of hair. And then, you know, the witch is like, be careful what you wish for. But anyway, you know, you don't understand. First off, and I've been on this tangent before, I'll admit, but people go, well, if I had body hair everywhere, I would just wax or get it shaved, or I would, you know, apply Nair for Men every single day, or, you know, as often as necessary to take care of it. No, you wouldn't. It's the exact same logic. Everybody, when they go bald, has the exact same resolution. They're like, well, if I'm going bald, at least I'm gonna get jacked. Like the hair was what was holding them back. They're like, I don't need to be in good shape right now. I got this on top of my head. And they think like their whole life is gonna change when they go bald. They're like, okay, fine, I'll go bald, but I'm gonna use it as an opportunity to start looking like Jason Statham. Unlikely. More power to you, by the way. I'm not trying to cut you down. I'm just saying I've heard that one before. From myself. Hey, we might need it. Really, this whole run is Sack Dagger. And if you're frustrated by the fact that I'm using Sack Dagger exclusively, dude, how do you think I feel with 4.27 damage? Okay? Thank God for Sack Dagger, which is like surgical right now. Yeah, we'll take Pentagram for a little bit of a bonus, but the other thing is, you won't go get a wax every 6 weeks. You know why? Because it's annoying. And it's expensive. And you're not going to shave all the time because it takes forever. And it itches when it comes back in. You're not going to get a laser. I know a dude who got laser. You know, he was as hairy as I was. That was like my Goddardammerong for body hair. He when we worked together in Korea, he used to take a train for like an hour to get to a laser hair clinic. What I didn't realize, when I think of laser, I think of like, you know, surgical precision, not very painful. And he's like, nah, dude, they're searing the hair follicles. It takes a long time. And then on the train ride back, every time I hit a bump, it's like the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life. And you don't just get it done once. You got to get it done like, you know, 12 times or something like that. And then it still comes in. It just comes in finer. So don't hirsute-splain me, okay? And then beyond that, we also have to deal with, you know, a little bit of a lack of understanding from society, including those closest to us. Like sometimes, you know, there'll be like a little body hair, not like a clump, but like scattered hairs on the floor of the bathroom. And Kate will be like, what were you doing in there? You know what I was doing in there? Existing. This is what happens when you got, you know, 300,000 hair follicles on your body. You know, sometimes they fall out in the process of everyday life. You know, you ever, like, see someone's hair just, like, on a desk or something like that? Now, multiply that in a room where you're naked with, like, the hair across your whole body, you know? And then on top of that, I don't know, maybe his body hair... It has to happen at some point. You know, things work in ebbs and flows. I don't really care because there's other reasons. I try not to take my shirt off in public. But, you know. The platonic ideal for, like, male beauty when I was in high school, for sure, was, like, you know, Brad Pitt from Fight Club, basically. You know, skinny, abs, and not a shred of body hair. Or if you wanted to pretend to be enlightened, you'll be like, a little bit of chest hair, but not so much as to be gross. I should not have stood there. But, you know, people act as if the body hair is a choice. I've come to terms with it. You know, you don't really have much of a choice when you go bald at 19 and you have, like, stomach hair at 16. You know, you're kind of stuck with it. All you gotta do is hope that maybe, you know, for if I have a son, he's in a different generation. You know, the generation where people are like, you know, untamed body hair is cool. Get back to that, like, Burt Reynolds sort of style. But I don't know, that's somebody else's problem. Dude, this run, I'm happy it's ending. Because it started out amazing. You know what screwed us, and it's not going to be a surprise. Little baggy Curse of the Blind. Now, I'm trying to maintain a good mixture of Zane and practicality. And, you know, we've had a lot of casualties in the Zane department recently. You know, we don't want to take My Reflection ever. We don't want to take Tiny Planet ever. We don't want to take Soy Milk almost ever. And now the game is like, hey, by the way, every time you get a question mark, just don't pick it up. If your run's already good, don't pick up a question mark. Why bother? You know, the risk of it potentially being horrible for you is not worth it. So, fair enough, you know? If this is the way the game wants to be played, then I guess I'm happy to oblige. Yo, things got real bad real fast on this double cage room. I'm at peace. Whatever happens, happens. Simultaneously, please don't do this to me. Secret room. I know we have Guppy's collar. Probably, you know, might surprise you. I don't find that interesting. Kind of more interested in, if possible, like not getting hit. Which on a room like this is a lot of fun, because like you have no control over that whatsoever. On the bright side, one of the weakest enemies in the game is about 80% dead. We made it? Please. Well, will you drop HP? I'm getting freaked out on this room. That's a terrible sign. You guys are HP-related enemies? Come on, hook me up. Yo, hey, when in Rome, dude. Absolutely. We also know that there's a full health pill in the rotation. Wow, he's fast. Because we had it earlier. I don't really want to fight Blue Baby in this situation, but I also don't really want to, like, you know, wait it out. The perfect scenario would be you just hook me up. You drop, it doesn't have to be full health, even like one red heart, I'd feel okay. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Look, waiting for a dog tooth. Dude, to be honest, I think we go for it. We're gonna take I Found Pills, because it turns this guy into a creep that actually does damage. It's not an easy fight. And you know what? If anything, there's no cautionary tale to pull from this run, except for the realization that, you know, no matter what, a question mark can screw you up. So maybe that's actually like a pretty good cautionary tale in the whole scheme of things, but like, we're playing a very simple game right now. We want to get ourselves into a position where it's mathematically certain that we win. So if we can get him one period of invincibility with sack dagger damage away from death, we've already won. And this, you know, these are the kind of runs, for real, even though this was easy for literally like 85% of it. These are the kind of runs that determine whether your streak's going to continue. You know? It's not about how many times you can just get good items. It's about how many times when it's unavoidable that you have to deal with the unpleasantness of, you know, not having amazing stats, that you can do that room reliably and take 0 damage. So for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Of course, follow me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/Northernlion, to be notified of when I go live in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!